Alright guys, you never know what you're going to get on the channel here. Today I'm doing a little mini X project, and I thought I'd bring you guys along, show you a little bit about this John Deere 35G that I rented, and kind of show you what I got going on here. So like you can see, I got the mini X up there. Got in kind of late last night and just went ahead and got started on this. But basically, this is an easement on my land, and my neighbors have a driveway come down through here. Well, basically what I want to do is just turn another driveway off up to the woods here. It's kind of like a temporary access type of deal. You know, eventually I'll go in and put in my own driveway down through the woods there, but for right now this is the quickest and easiest way to get this job done, so that's what I'm working with. I just took out a little bit of brush piled up over there. I just kind of got it stacked up so I can grab it with a grapple and pile it up somewhere, maybe burn it. It's kind of not a good spot to burn up here, but and then I just kind of rake down a little bit of the leaves and the topsoil off of it right there. I still need to, it's a big hump right up there at the top, and then there's a little bit of a hump down here I need to smooth out. But then I got to just keep carrying on up through the woods there. There's a big open clearing that I'm working towards, so that's what we're working on. Alright, like Adele says, go easy on me, baby. I'm extremely new to this. I'll tell you here in a little while, but this is my first time ever running a mini X, and this project it's kind of made it a little bit more difficult because of a kind of a time crunch that we're in. So it's currently about 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm sure my neighbors are loving me for this, but you know, it's early. I don't have much time on the machine, so you'll kind of see I'm just kind of getting my sea legs with everything. So for sure not trying to get on here and claim that I'm doing anything the proper way, you know. Probably could have knocked this job out with a skid steer, but kind of wanted the mini X for pulling out these trees that you'll see me pull out here in a little while, and kind of managing the brush. It's a little bit more easy to stack and pile the brush up with a thumb in the bucket. Like I said, right here I'm just trying to, there's a high spot in this bank, and I know you can't tell on the GoPro because everything looks flat, but this is a little bit of a hill I'm working on, and I'm just trying to knock this one tiny little hump out of it here. I'm taking really small scoops because it's easier to trim off small amounts than it is to put back large amounts. So just trying to shape it up a little bit before the gravel gets here. That was another thing. I'm kind of in a time crunch because I've got a load of gravel coming. This was around 7 o'clock. I had a load of gravel being delivered at 8, so trying to knock this portion out because he's going to be dropping the gravel on this hill. Get ready for a cool excavator spin here. My favorite thing to do. Boom. But, I know I alluded to it earlier, but basically the gist of this project is I need a way to access my land, and knocking this quick and dirty driveway in here is my way of doing that. I need to basically just need to store some vehicles up here for the time being, and I've got this hillside I'm working on. I've got a load of gravel coming, and there's some portions of the road I got to widen out, and I'll kind of go into a little bit more detail here in the next clip. But I know the GoPro isn't going to do this any justice, but it's a slight hill, and I'm just trying to do my absolute best I can to get this thing smooth with as little grading experience as I have. I think I did a pretty good job. You'll see it kind of at the end how it all turned out. Alright, hopefully you can hear me over this machine. Basically, there was an old road to come up through here, turned around that way. You kind of see the remnants of it right there. Well, there's 2 trees right there that I know you're not going to be able to see, but trust me, they're not big enough for a pickup truck to fit through, and I've got to get through here with a 20-foot car trailer and a pickup truck. So same situation right here. you know, you can kind of see the paved road come down, and it hooked back like that and then come up between these trees. Well, there's no way you're making that hook back with a car trailer, let alone you know, a loaded car trailer. So what I've done is basically just made it a more gentle turn in, come up this little hill, and then I'm going to cut between this big tree and this big tree and just basically cut that corner short and go straight up through there. Well, unfortunately, gravel truck wasn't able to make it up my little hill. It's mostly because I was using a dump trailer and backing through that little turn right there with a long wheelbase truck and a 12,000 pound, you know, load of gravel is a little challenging. They actually got it, you know, was able to get it lined up. It's just that trying to back that much weight up this hill, he started spinning, and I can scoop that, transfer it up here where I'm standing, and then rake a little bit down there at the bottom. I don't really want to go crazy with the gravel at the bottom because putting in a little culvert and I'm gonna have to dig it all back out anyway. So, but yeah, that's the load of gravel. It's he said that was number 4 stone. I really have no clue what that means, but it's about that big, so pretty good stuff. That'll track in real nice. I'll grab me a big load of it and transfer it up, transfer it up, transfer it up. My goal is to get gravel at least all the way up to that big tree, and then a little bit raked down there. I know it doesn't look like much, but it's a pretty good bit of gravel. So so instead of worrying about the gravel right now, I'm going to keep blazing my trail up through here. Basically, you see where I pushed down those little trees. There's that one that's got the crook in it right there. I'm going to the right of it, and there's a little pine tree all alone right there, about, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 inches in diameter. I'm gonna take it down, and then that'll just be a straight shot up through there. And once you get up there, I'll show you, it gets much more wide open. Now, obviously, I should have said this earlier in the video, but I'm not claiming to be no operator or good at this. You know, honestly, this is my very first time ever driving a Mini X. Driven a few backhoes, skid steer, stuff like that, but never a real Mini X. So yeah, if I'm a little herky-jerky, if I kind of do things that look stupid, that's why. Everything I know, I pretty much learned from watching the Let's Dig 18 on YouTube, and you know, just playing around. So anyways, I'm gonna move the cameras and keep blazing my path up here, and we'll carry on. I got to get this opened up the rest of the way. And that pine tree is about the last one in my way. That pine tree, that little scraggler tree right there, and then there's maybe one or two little scragglers right there behind the Mini. But this is it's by far gonna be the biggest thing I've took down really ever. So wish me luck. I'm probably gonna scoop it and push it down this way, because it's a pretty, pretty clear landing for it all right through here. So I don't think it's quite tall enough to hit those 3 trees, but we shall see. already got my road up to about where I'm standing here. Like I said, it gets pretty wide. I'll still probably run up there with a mini and knock down a couple of these little mounds of dirt, but it gets pretty wide up there. So if we're gonna let that slide, and then got all this tracked in. I didn't put that on camera because it's just a bunch of driving back and forth with a mini X, so it's all somewhat packed in. There is a few little whoop-de-doos in here. Kind of probably could have did a better job grading, or probably could have did a better job with a skid steer grading, but I got a mini, and that's what it looks like from the bottom. Wow, you really probably can't see anything because of that sunlight, but I'm working on transferring this gravel back. I think that just from the looks of it, I should be able to transfer a big pile back, transfer another pile back, and maybe, depending on how thin I spread it, get somewhere up on this little bit of a hillside here, all the way down that hill. So that'll be pretty good, because that's kind of the area I'm worried about not having a good traction on, and having that gravel in there also help keep it from washing out. So kind of two birds, one stone. But I'm going to set the camera up and keep transferring some gravel. Right now I'm just going from that pile to this pile, and then eventually I'll go from this pile, I'll start spreading it and raking it, spreading it, raking it, spreading it, and raking it, and then I'll track it all in and be done. Alrighty, well that's going to be our route for today. Got the road opened up. You can see pretty clearly up through there now. And I got stone very thinly spread all the way from the paved road up through here. I know the stone's really thin, but kind of got to make it go as far as I can. Do got to come back up here tomorrow, and got this big pile of shit I got to deal with. That right there I'll just kind of rake out in the woods, same way with that little pile, but that right there I got to deal with. And there's another pile right there where the minis part that I got to deal with. So clean up those two piles, and it should be pretty wide open up in there. So there's beaming down in there pretty good, but you can kind of get the gist of it. Basically off the paved road, right up the gravel. So, but anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end this video off here, because honestly this is kind of a little bit weird for my channel anyways. If you want to follow along the progress of the property, we got a few acres here we're working on, and that's part of this project was putting a road into it so we can kind of get up there and piddle around. But if you want to follow along with that, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you liked the video, if you watched it this far, give it a thumbs up. Drop me a comment, let me know all the excavating things I did wrong with a mini, and I'll see you guys on the next video.